is in it.
Evening, people. Welcome to BNR. Welcome. I've just woke up after our 6.5 year marathon. On when was it, Sarib? Was it on Eid Eve or was it on post Eid? I can't remember, but it was a slog. 3:30 we were live. I've just woke up. Sarib just come back from work in his dream. But we've spent about 10 minutes. I'm sorry, Willie, again, but we've spent 10 minutes taking the piss out of Avi's new shaped up beard. So we're going to go straight to Avi. And he's going to explain that beard. Avi, can you just give us a little head turn?
Avi, give us a little twirl. Give us a little
twirl. You can get off the chair and give us a little twirl if you want. Sarib's gone off. Sarib's gone off stream.
Sarib's gone off because Sarib is still going through puberty, unfortunately. So he's still got a beard to grow. No problem.
No, can you turn your head first? Turn your head.
Is it my beard, Avi? Look all shaped up, man. Look at that, man.
You want to talk. Sorry, chitte bale. Okay, so you're an anomaly.
Avi,
Asim, to be fair, you got your beard nice. It's nice, the shape, up, this and that. Listen, I haven't got enough hair, so look, at the end of the day, that's all I can do.
Avi, that looks like the Bingley bypass. So. Give us a little side.
It looks like the river. It looks like the river Thames.
It goes down, and then
it looks like the river Thames. No, that is what I can do. And what more can I do? I can't do much.
You have a barber coming around yours. I'd sack him.
To cut my hair, not to cut my beard.
Oh, that's door.
So why do you get his? Sorry, what do you think of Avi's beard? Is it nice?
I'm not a fan.
He's gone thick on the mustache.
I'm not a fan of facial hair anyway. As you can tell.
By the way, can I squash rumors? Can I squash rumors? I do not use cola.
Cola. Oh, he does 100%.
I do not. I've got so few white hair. Look.
Cola, yeah, you do.
It's good genetics, man. Alhamdulillah. It's my dad. Anyway, Ung says let's talk football. Ung talks. He's got plenty of hair.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Fuzz. The beard is looking good. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Avi's beard has just been nice.
Oh, there we are. There's the Arsenal fan. The return. You know what? The Arsenal fans today were sending me today. The return of the king.
I don't care about that. 1 minute. I do want to address something.
There's only one king.
There's banter.
There's only one king. Remember that, son. Send that to Sully. Clip me and send it to Sully. Anyway,
banter is Charles. Can I please interject? I'm at the office today, so please, let's tone it down a little bit. I don't mind any insults within reason, but this one can do one. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, he's only joking, man.
That is uncalled for, though. No, we don't.
He's joking, man.
We don't discriminate. I don't care. I'm not having a laugh. Yeah, so please, let's behave ourselves, please.
Are you trolling? Are you being funny? I can never tell you when you're serious.
Not being funny. Let's not behave. Let's behave ourselves a little bit.
Anyway, football. Revenge is the title. What do you want to do? Do you want to talk about the transfer links of the last couple of days first, or do you want to talk about the good? No, I was just going to call it Goodison Derby. We've had that a couple of weeks ago. Derby or links?
Links, man. Links right now. It has to be links, man. I enjoy the links.
No. I think we should do the derby because once we do the links, people will leg it in. It's already quarter past 11. So we'll put the links in the second half for the show. Maybe we get an exclusive from the man in the top right hand corner. Sarib, I'll come to you first. I'll only come to you last, and it's only right.
Avi, can you put yourself on mute when you type in?
This is what I mean.
I'll do what I want. Yeah, only because Eid's over. Let's start insulting and start using abusive words again. Behave yourself.
I said put yourself on mute. I didn't choose any of the abusive words.
Yeah, Eid should
be all right today.
For someone like you, Eid should be all year round. The amount of shit that you speak and the abusive language you use.
What's wrong with this guy today? I think I asked him it's that beard talk that we got to him, man. It's that beard talk. I think we heard
Qasim, what can I do? What can I do if it's Bingi? What can I do now? Please.
Sarib, talk to me about Everton. Is it about the result, or do you want a performance and a result? Are we greedy, or Arsenal reduced the points by 9 points? I know everybody, including me, has been saying the league is done, but we can't give Arsenal any sort of encouragement, can we?
Bruv, let's not take the piss for 1 second, right? let's not take the piss, man. Stop doing this nonchalant thing. Oh yeah, Esther on a title race. We're not in a title race
I'm not
anymore.
saying it's a title race.
I promise to God,
It's done.
in my considerate opinion,
You said your email that you're
Cook
sending.
Sarib, cook them.
I don't believe we have. I feel like we can draw the rest of our games, the rest of the season, and still win it. That's how bad I think Arsenal are. But they've got one guy back called Bukayo Saka that's concerning me. And you know what?
So it's all right. So no, I'm all right. It's all right for me to say something, and then you're saying it's concerning you. Like, where do you stand? Why is it concerning you if it's over?
Because, like I said before, this is an opinion. It's not a fact. What I say might not come true, and what you say, you think comes true, but it doesn't. And then you go, I didn't mean that. Anyway, look, what I'm saying to you. What I'm saying to you, Mr. Host,
Sarib is cooking.
The league is done. Stop stressing. We don't even need to win.
You on the top right.
The league is done.
I will talk Kirkes as well. Asim, Gerald Heto ho gaya.
Why are you going for me? Why are you going for me?
He's got the left backs on the transfer market.
He's cooking him. He's cooking him.
We're not talking about everything. We're going straight to the links.
He's cooking him and he's coming for me. He's cooking him and he's coming for me.
I'm only joking.
You guys are stop stressing. Why are you worried about Arsenal? You don't need to be worried about them. Leave them alone. It's okay.
So why? Okay, can you just explain that what you said then? Why does the return of Saka concern you?
Because he's a good player. Because he's a good player. That's why he's a good player.
But it's done though.
It is done, but like I said, what I think might not happen. There's still a possibility that they can. It's 9 points. They can cut it. I don't think they'll do it.
So you agree with me then?
What do you mean?
Yeah, sorry.
I said the league. I said the league was done.
You just cooked me. Why would I come on your side now?
I said the league was done after we beat Man City at the.
Look, I said it's done. What did I say? Including myself.
Okay.
The league is done.
But Sarib,
you cannot give Arsenal any sort of encouragement.
The question was, Sarib.
So what did I say that was wrong?
Do you want a performance and the win tomorrow, or you just care about 3 points tomorrow?
I don't even care about the 3 points, to be honest, man. I just want to see Federico Chiesa play centrally. I saw that.
You don't care about the 3 points.
No, to be honest, I don't. Like I said, look, what I'm saying to you.
Listen
to what I'm going to say. Listen, this is not a must win. We don't need to win this game. A win is nice, but if we draw the game, am I going to care? No. We extend the gap to 10. It doesn't bother me. What I'm saying to you that this league is so done that we could drop point after point and still win it. But what I also said, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Yeah, you talking a load of. Anyway, Saka's back, and he's a good player, and it's 9 points.
Asim, you're not on.
So you have to be conservative.
Sorry.
You have to be conservative. Let me take my bias goggles off. Liverpool. I want us to win the rest of our games of the season. Do I think we'll do it? No. Do I think Arsenal will do it? No. Which is why I think we'll win the title. Which is why I think the league's done. Because I don't think Arsenal will accumulate enough points to cut that nine points. But having a player like Saka gives them a better opportunity to cut that gap. So of course there's a cause for concern. That's what I was trying to say. Because what I think might not happen, and what I don't think might happen. You know what I mean?
Can I talk?
Stop.
I'm not spoken here. Can I speak?
Do you know 1 minute? Sarib, Slot mentioned again the 2 games against PSG and Newcastle. Prior to those 3 games, we had 3 cup finals. You could say that he used. Yeah, we didn't do well in them. We got knocked out of the Champions League, rightly or wrongly, and then we got outplayed in the League Cup final. Surely, as a Liverpool fan, not only 3 points matter tomorrow, not just the manner that we drew that Everton game. You want to see a performance tomorrow.
I disagree. I don't give a shit how we play tomorrow. It's a derby as long as we get 3 points.
Right, boys. Can I just first and foremost make it absolutely clear? You guys are supposed to talk. This show is about Liverpool, and you've been talking about Arsenal. One guy is slightly concerning about, you did, because you're slightly concerned because Boyaka Saka, whatever he's called, is come back. Saka ain't doing shit for Arsenal to win the title. So there's nothing to be concerned about. Number one. Number two, Asim, you open up the show talking about Arsenal. This is it doesn't matter. We're winning the title. Number two, in terms of tomorrow's performance, Avi, Sarib, how the hell can you say you're not bothered about 3 points? You already played the football. No, you gave me your these. 1 second. No. I'm speaking. You be quiet now.
You said Sarib.
You said.
You said Sarib.
Yeah, but I said sorry. I said sorry. You said you're not bothered about the 10 points, 3 points. We're playing Everton at home. We're going for the title. Yeah, inshallah we're gonna win.
Is that the
You
Saudi
want to
move?
go out there and bloody beat them, especially after what happened in the last game. They scored a 90th minute winner. Sorry, 90th minute draw to make it. You don't want to go tomorrow and win that game, and you're happy with a bloody draw. Come on, yeah.
What I want is a win.
Talking balonies.
What I want is a win. But if we don't win, am I going to be bothered by it? No, because the league.
No, you didn't even say I'm not bothered. You said I'm not even bothered about the win before even match is even played.
No.
That's what you said.
But context is important here. Context is very, very important because I don't care.
It's always after you've said it, you want to be context in.
All I want is the league. I don't care about anything else.
Believe you me, I want the league more than any of you three.
And I think it's already done. That's why if we draw tomorrow, hindsight it's 1-1.
But you want to, but yes, if it happens. But you want to win, go out there. You should be saying, yeah, I want to go. I'm playing against Everton. You want to win 3 points. You start off. I don't care. I don't care if you even draw the game. Come on, you know, show a bit of bloody emotion. Someone say we're gonna go and win the game. Draw our song.
I don't want to draw.
Honestly, man, go Everton. It's Everton, a derby at home, and we're talking about, draw. Yeah, it's all right. No, it's not all right. Go out there, beat Everton, show what you're all about.
The point I'm trying to make is there's enough points.
I don't want 10. I want 12.
Okay, that's fine.
That's the difference. I don't want 10. I want 12.
There's enough space between us and first and second for us to be able to have some sort of slippage somewhere. Like we can do it, and if it happens tomorrow, fine. I just hope it doesn't happen again and again and again because I don't want it to be consistent. Yeah,
but then you said you're okay with Liverpool winning the tie. You said they won it, so it doesn't matter. It's relaxed.
Yeah, exactly. That's.
But you're saying you don't want it to happen again and again. But then you're contradicting yourself, bro.
Exactly.
You know what you're saying, Sarib. To me, it's the approach and the mentality. Where what you're saying now, you're not bothered. We've still got a massive gap. This and that. It's the kind of thing or the kind of perspective that you put on a game. If you drop points, not before. I think that's what we're trying to get at. Now, before the game, we're at home. We're top of the league by 12 or 9 points. However where you want to see it.
Yeah,
and
it's the Merseyside derby, Asim. We're gonna go into the bloody flipping the la game. I want to bar these gates.
And I think Sarib, after how it ended, the way our manager got banned,
exactly
after that, pinch invasion, if you want to call it.
Yeah,
I think, and that's why we titled it today, Revenge. I think we owe these guys one. But where do you see the game won and lost? Everybody's talking about they're not going to be as a Sean Dyche type of team, but David Moyes, even in Everton days, any team coming to Anfield, especially wherever you are in the league, where Everton are, they're going to park a bus. Whether it's a David Moyes type of bus, whether it's a Sean Dyche type of bus, they're going to park a bus. And it's all about Liverpool trying to be patient and pick them off. So where do you see it, being won and lost?
To be honest, I think it's down to the attackers because ultimately, I think being at Anfield is a big factor as to why Liverpool are where they are and are so dominant in games at home. It's very, very clear, and it's going to be a game under the lights. And I think we haven't had a derby at Anfield under the lights for quite some time, so it's going to be very, very interesting to see. Not top of my head, I can't remember. I think it was 2 years ago we beat them 2-0, but I'm really talking about like midweek game. I know we played them on the Monday. We beat them 2-0 in 22-23. I'm talking about a real like a midweek game like the 4-0 in 2016 where we scored with that Coutinho and we had that Klopp laughing. So. Look, I think the attack is very, very important because honestly, I know people are going to latch onto it, and including myself, I latched onto it when I saw it on my timeline. I really enjoyed that little Chiesa cameo, and like you said, someone pointed it out that he was scoring from central positions. And I think a player like him who spent time at AXA while a lot of the players were on international duty deserves this chance. I don't want to see Darwin starting. I don't want to see Luis Diaz starting because I think those two. I just think that they've had enough chances to prove themselves. And Federico Chiesa, on the other hand, who this is not like I said, you can.
Sorry, where do you want Chiesa? Because it's interesting. A few people have said, look, they want to see more Chiesa for a long time. But where would you start Chiesa tomorrow?
I would start him centrally, but then I think Gakpo and Chiesa, and I think that is very, very fluid. I think all our attackers are able to play in different positions, but I think having Chiesa who can play left and right, having Chiesa who can play centrally, Gakpo can play left and he can play right, not as well as he can play left, but he can play centrally. And I think the rotation between Salah, Chiesa, and Gakpo would work really, really well, especially between Chiesa and Gakpo, because I don't think Salah is going to be doing shifts down the other side, but I think with Gakpo and Chiesa, there'd be a lot of heavy rotations in there. But one thing I will say about Chiesa is that he hasn't really had his clear-cut chance, and I hope tomorrow he gets it. And I think, like I said, I think this is where the points gap becomes very, very important, because in a game where if we were 4 points clear or 3 points clear of Arsenal. Would Arne Slot risk that? Probably not. But in a game like this where you kind of have room for error, give players a chance, because if we draw the game, then it didn't work, and then you go on and go back to your tried and trusted. But I think what I was trying to say, we can afford to drop points and experiment a bit more than we could have done if the points gap was a bit smaller. That's what, and I think that's right.
I think hold on. Asim, hold on. I think there's been plenty of airtime between.
I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you a question.
No. I want to just say this. We had a performance tomorrow. The PSG game at home, yes, we played well, but we still got knocked out on penalties. League Cup final against Newcastle, we were favourites. We are the best team. We were supposedly the best team in Europe in January. Yeah. There has been a little bit of a fall off. We got outplayed in the League Cup final against Newcastle. We got battered in that final. Let's not kid ourselves, yeah? Apart from the last 5 minutes where Chiesa gets a goal and it's, in Istanbul all over again. Well, it wasn't. We need a performance tomorrow. And we need to win because we need that 12-point lead. A draw or even worst case, a loss tomorrow at Anfield, Arsenal will try to smell blood, but this Saka gives them a little bit of momentum. I know Gabriel got injured, but I don't want to give Arsenal any momentum. I want to seal this. I want to seal this league as soon as possible. So I want the performance and I want the win, because we got robbed at Goodison Park. So not just 3 points matter. I want to batter them tomorrow. So performance is more important than the win too.
Yeah, we weren't great in the Merseyside derby at Goodison either, to be fair to him.
So but we should have won it though. We got robbed in the last 5 minutes.
I can accept
10 minutes of extra time. That came from nowhere.
That's why I agree with you. I think we drew a good performance, especially after the last derby game. I don't think we were great. And I know you're going to say it went against us, but if you looked at the overall performance that we had in the game, we probably didn't deserve to win it, to be fair. And then you look at the PSG game, the Newcastle game. Yeah, you're probably right. We do need a performance, especially against a team like Everton, where, that can really change a team's form for or against. So,
okay. I wanted to ask you the question that what Sarib was talking about. Avi, does Chiesa deserve a start?
Does he deserve a start? Well, going off by his Newcastle showing, I know it was only like a 15-20 minute cameo, but he looked bright, he looked sharp, he looked quick, gets the goal. He was the only one who had a bit of fight in him, to be honest. I mean, Kwanzaa, he was okay at right back, but he was the only one that was up for it. Asim, it's shameful on the rest of the players.
I thought Van Dijk was good in the final. I thought.
I
thought he was one of our best players. I know it wasn't a high bar, but I thought he played well.
But a Merseyside derby, throwing Chiesa in there, he found it tough against Plymouth away. They were kicking him about a bit. Cold.
Everyone did, Avi.
Cold day, cold afternoon. I don't think Slot will risk it with Chiesa tomorrow by starting him. I can see.
If you were Slot, would you start him?
I can see where he comes from. I can see where Sarib comes from. 100%. He deserves a chance.
Would you start him?
But not against Everton at home.
Would you start him?
I wouldn't. It would be Gakpo tomorrow. Gakpo, Diaz, and Salah.
I'm tired of that front three, mate.
I know, but it's what we have to stick with until the end of the season, Sarib.
Gene, would you start Chiesa if you were Slot?
Kya kar sakte, Sarib? Kya kar sakte?
If I'm honest with you, Asim, Chiesa's, everybody knows my thoughts on Chiesa. I want him to start.
Really?
I want him to start.
Chiesa, 12 million, his favourite player. Do you remember at the beginning of the summer?
Yeah.
Boys, let me tell you, I've been tracking Chiesa for 3-4 years. Juventus, I know everything about Italian football. Benedashi, Chiesa, that Juventus team, Ala, Ula, the Wala. That's what happened.
Yeah, there's kids watching, man.
I'm telling you, that beard comment, Asim. That beard comment really got to him.
The way he picked up
something
Chiesa,
not right.
The way he picked him
something
up.
not right with him today.
I said he could be
either. It's the bypass. It's the big bypass.
I said he'll be another Aquilani. He said he's going to be the next Zola. Yadrak. Him. He's Gina. He said he's going to be the next Zola. He's going to be the Zola for us. He's going to be the Zola for us.
And now people are calling him to start, Avi. And saying that he has another.
I'm not talking about Sarib.
He has a start.
What you said at the beginning of the summer. At the beginning of the summer.
Okay, let me finish now. Enrico Chiesa deserves a chance. Because Jota's been shy, Darwin's been shy. He deserves a chance. Because that little cameo was enough to say to me, okay, you know what, this guy can finish. We both all know that he can finish on both feet. Whether he starts up front, one second, I said, whether he starts up front is a different question. Me personally,
where would you start him?
I think he has to start from the left. But because Gakpo's back and fit, you have to start Gakpo. And I don't think Chiesa is ready to play down the line against Everton. I agree with him. Bring him on. If the other strikers are not doing as well, then it's worth bringing him on for 20, 30 minutes down the middle. I'm happy with that because he showed enough. He showed enough to say that he can sort of play that. And one thing with Chiesa, Asim, we know he can strike a ball and he can finish because we saw that ball. Left foot, right foot.
Are you not concerned?
He's got that ability.
Are you not concerned him coming up against Tarkowski and Brathwaite, probably the most two physical centre backs in the Premier League?
Hence why I said he shouldn't start the game, Asim. As I didn't. It's down the middle. I don't want him to.
Can't start the game.
He shouldn't start. But if Jota or Nunes, whoever starts this game, isn't playing well for 60 minutes, I'd throw him up front. Asim. He will do something for you, and you saw that in the final.
Who's your front three tomorrow? Do you know who's your front three tomorrow?
Me.
Well, he's gone Gakpo and he's gone Salah.
If it's me, look, if I think Slot is going to go with Jota. I think he's going to go with Jota tomorrow.
No, even me. I don't think Chiesa starts. I want him to start. I don't think he starts. I'm calling for him to start because I think he deserves it. But I think he goes with Diaz, Gakpo, Salah. I don't think he plays Nunes. I don't think he plays Jota personally. Diaz plays centrally.
I agree with Sarib. So then what are we talking about then? If this one can't make his mind up.
No,
what? He said he wants Chiesa to play. Then he says, I don't think he's going to play tomorrow.
Yeah, what I want.
Because I asked him if you were Slot.
Oh yeah, if I was Slot, I'd play Chiesa, but I'm not Slot, so he's going to play Diaz. We know on this Slot. Chiesa could score 50 goals in one game, and Slot will sort of say, "I think Freddie needs more training." He will do it, and he will drop him. I know this manager. He has his favourites. You can tell, and he doesn't trust Chiesa. That's not his signing. It was a club signing, and you can see he doesn't rate him. You can. It's quite obvious.
I don't think he has his favourites yet. He has his settled 11. Yes, I would agree with that.
Gene, you made this lad has been the topic of discussion for the last couple of weeks. I said Jota had a worse season than Nunes the other day, and it's probably the first time that we're not talking about Jota's injuries, because that's been here since day one. But we're talking about Jota the player at the moment. We're concerned about the Jota the player, and it's a big concern. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen this summer. I think he'll probably end up staying and then just going throughout his contract and leaving on the free. But Muju says Jota is washed. I've been keeping a close eye.
There's no way he's staying beyond this summer. Just letting you know that.
I think he stays.
I think he stays. Okay.
We'll see.
Clip. It's just a prediction, isn't it?
We don't need to clip anything. There's nothing to be clipped. It's not as if we're going to laugh at my face, I'll laugh at your face. We'll see what happens in the summer. That's it.
Yeah, but the difference.
It's April Fool's Day. We ain't going to forget April Fool's Day.
The difference between me and you, I'll say, is based on prediction, and predictions can be wrong. You'll say it's based on info, like your Chacha called you, last month. That's the difference between me and you, isn't it? Anyway, swiftly.
Yeah, and we know how you get on with predictions, don't you?
What's wrong with predictions? What's wrong with predictions?
Let me not start as well.
Yeah, I'm telling you that weird comment. I have to come back to
I'm
it.
telling you. What? If I were you, go off stream and go shave that beard off, because you might come back in a better mood.
Abby, you rattled him.
Sarib, you can't win the league. You can't win the league. You can't win the league. You can't win the league.
No, Darwin, no.
Okay. Let's address. He's come out with that comment again. Let's address that comment. Gakpo will not win you the league. What do you think that statement? Because Jamie Carragher has probably used it 3, 4, 5 times, and he's not the only pundit. When someone says he won't win you the league, what do you think that effectively means, Mr. What's your surname? I forgot your surname.
No, you don't need to come. Why don't come for me? Go.
No, because you can. Let's have it out now. Not have it out on WhatsApp. Not have it out on Twitter. Camera to camera, let's have it out.
You can't type something, get quick for it, and say I didn't mean that.
Is this backup? Is this backup now? No. Is this backup? Are you calling backup? I don't want to school you.
Listen,
I don't want to school you. I want to go.
Let me speak.
I want to school the big one.
But you let me.
I don't want the small fish. I want the big head fish. I want that.
Because you can't. You do the same thing to me. You do the same thing to me.
I know.
Let me speak.
I know he does.
No, I don't want Sarib.
He speaks over you.
Yeah, because you don't want to cook your ass,
I cooked Sarib. It took what Sarib tells you.
Sorry, bro.
Asim, why are you saying we don't want the 3 point? What did he say at the start of the show about this Everton game?
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Why are you saying the league is not done?
Exactly.
20 seconds later, Sarib is saying the same thing.
Exactly. So you can't say something, then
Exactly.
say no. Then you can't say something, then
No,
cook for and say,
I want
"Oh,
Avi.
didn't mean it like
I
that."
want Avi.
You cook
I
me
want
for that.
Avi. Avi, stop going red. I want you. You came out with the Gakpo comment. I want you.
No,
you.
that's my Gakpo.
What
Exactly,
is
exactly,
wrong? You know,
exactly,
bro,
exactly.
Rose have definitely finished. Rose have definitely finished.
That's my Cody
Eid is
Gakpo.
done. And Kasme, you know what? What's uni? I'm shocked at this show right so far, bro.
stood
You're
by
getting
it.
my
I stood by
Asim,
it.
just remember, you're getting my
45
crumbs.
minutes in,
You're
man.
getting my crumbs.
Oh, Sarib. Guess what he called you? He goes, "You're getting my crumbs."
No, I said,
This
Sarib, go.
is
I said,
this
go.
the respect he's
Sorry,
showing you?
Shall I start on you?
This is the respect he shows you. Sara large.
Sarib, cuss me,
Sarib,
say that.
Sara
I said, go.
large.
Sarib,
This is
cook
the
it.
respect he
Say
shows you.
sorry.
Sarib, cook
Say
it.
sorry.
Hello,
Say
Chrome.
sorry.
Hello, Chrome.
Say sorry.
Wave at me, Chrome. He's calling you his crumbs. What sort of respect do you have?
Sarib, I never said that.
I don't
You
want to
said,
start, mate. I don't want
is
to start.
there a rewind
block
option
me
on
in
this
5
thing,
minutes.
guys? Let's upgrade our flipping subscription so we get that feature. Anyway, boys, predictions. Give me your predictions. Talking of predictions, give me your match predictions. Go predictions.
I just want to say, in real life, Asim knows the sift I do to him. When I see him, ask him what I do. I touch his pera. When I see him.
You know what? This is all love,
I
man.
love that. Go on, Alex. I love. Why are we taking it up? Have we put it back on, man? I want to read it.
Where was it? Fighting out the blue corner.
Oh, Jota, what's wrong with the bed?
Yeah, look,
Avi,
Avi,
you know, it's
relax,
all
man. I'm
over the
joking with you,
place.
man.
He can't make his mind up.
I'll grow it more.
Okay, anyway. It was
Anyway,
predictions,
the
boys.
chat has gone off.
predictions.
The chat has gone off. 3-1, 4-0. Bloody hell, Kashif.
I think it's 4-1 tomorrow.
Good, nah.
Nervous hotline is nervous about the scoreline. Match. Bob 1-0, SNH 1-1. A few draws in there, man.
I can't see a 1-1, to be fair. I can't see it.
Ali 5-0. Wow. 5-0 again. Ali's
Nah,
super confident.
You know they've drawn their last 3
Oh,
in a row,
cheers.
3,
Cheers
4
back.
in a
Nice to
row.
see him. Nice to see him.
Because we don't really batter Everton, and it's very rarely Liverpool batter Everton. What happens once in a blue, but the games are pretty tight between them.
What was last year's
tomorrow.
scoreline? Was it 2-0 against the Tours?
2-0, yeah, Salah in October. Yeah,
Mm.
Salah, Nunes, penalty from Salah, and then Nunes hits to Salah. I remember that game, actually.
3-0, admin. Junior, must be Junior.
We'll win tomorrow.
What score, Avi? Tell me.
2-0.
Sarib?
2-1.
No,
Liverpool.
2-1.
Yeah. We're gonna concede a goal, mate. We've got Kwanzaa right back. Come on, mate.
Really?
I don't
Well,
think
they
he said
They don't have what's I can never pronounce his name. Anjai, is it?
and Guy.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Nah,
NGI.
they have good players.
3-0.
Which will cause problems. I think Jack
3-0.
Harris.
Tomorrow we're going to see a performance and a result. We're going to batter them tomorrow. We're going to show them what we're about.
Asim,
I predicted 2-0 on Twitter. I'll stick with 2-0.
I think 2-0's fine.
Okay. Nika, anything else about the game before we move on?
Nah, to be honest.
No?
This is probably the most meaningless derby game in a long time, to be honest, in terms of status of both teams. Everton are not going to go down and Liverpool are going to win the league. Like, it doesn't really matter. It won't really affect too much on the table.
I think there's a bit of retribution though.
100%
there's that.
retribution,
In
man.
terms of the
It's a
league,
Merseyside derby, man.
I know, but I don't think in terms of league positions, I don't really think it matters, to be honest.
That may be, bro. It's a derby, mate.
Yeah.
Derby's
This game
always
matters.
fierce. The first challenge will be telling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think MU says Beto caused a lot of problems
did,
last
man.
time out as well. I think at Anfield, Gene, it might be a bit of a different game where we can always afford to double up on him because there's not a lot of players around him and we can get the second ball. You'll see a lot of the DM standing in front of him as well because we can afford to take those risks because they're deep in their own half. I think we'll have a lot of the ball. It's all about breaking those lines. I think Everton's best bet tomorrow is set pieces.
100%. And that, I agree with you completely. I
What do you
completely
say,
agree
Sarib?
with you.
Got corners, Branthwaite in the air.
Yeah, corners as well. Corners. I think there was a bit of an exchange between one of the journalists and Slot today. And the journalist asked him, I can't remember who it was. And he said, look, Liverpool have conceded the most goals on set pieces. But he said, okay, that's fine. That's I think they've conceded about 3-4, and it's only a small sample size. But Slot said, look, I like to take the positives as well. Even though the corners took a lot of stick against Newcastle, he goes, we're top of the league in terms of defending corners. So Liverpool has shown they can defend corners, but I'm slightly concerned because there are a lot of big lads. And I think Everton might have taken something out from that Newcastle game where they might go and stick one of their biggest lads outside the area. And will McAllister will be on the biggest lad again? Will Liverpool expect Van Dijk or Konate to come out? Because Liverpool like zonal in their area.
Yeah.
How will they go? Will they go man-to-man tomorrow? I don't know. I don't think he'll change it because Liverpool will see the data and we're doing things right. We don't need to rip it up. But against really physical sides, really strong sides, and Everton are top of, I think they've scored 41% of their goals from set pieces. It's ridiculous. So it's something to keep an eye on. But transfer links.
Asim,
yeah.
just to quick away from the footy talk. You got a nice Sherwani on, I must say.
Oh, do you like it?
I like it. Very nice.
Thank you.
Carry on.
I know what he's doing, but it's not going to work. Trying to get back on his good side, aren't you?
No. Listen, where there's a compliment to be paid, there's a compliment to be played. I complimented him on his beard as well. Come on, Yella.
That's one thing me and Avi don't do, Sarib. Whatever happens on the camera stays on the camera. That's it. We moved on from that conversation.
Or on the voice notes that we changed.
Okay. But one question to you, Sarib, because I kind of noticed it as well. The last bit on the game. Funks. Why does Sarib keep talking the game down? Tomorrow isn't a big game.
I'm really not, to be honest. I'm really not talking the game down. I just think this game, I get it in terms of a derby. It does mean a lot in terms of local rivalry and history between Everton and Liverpool. But my narrative is that it doesn't mean as much for Liverpool because I think they're probably set to win the league and not as much for Everton in terms of staying up in the league, which is a bit different to what it was maybe last year at Goodison Park when Liverpool were chasing the title. Everton trying to stay in the division. Everton are pretty much safe this year. Liverpool are probably almost 90% guaranteed a Premier League title. That is what I was getting at. The game was
Everton more than anything will want to spoil this sort of party.
Yeah. I can accept that, but that for me is like a notion for them to go and properly perform in this game, but not too much for their sake. Like them not performing in this game, or them not winning this game, or them not putting 100% effort in the game is not going to affect where they finish in the league. Same thing with Liverpool. If Liverpool drop points tomorrow, it's not really going to affect the title race too much because I think the gap is already too drastic. But it is a Mersey derby, and it does mean a lot locally. I understand there's a big rivalry, but it's like if
Sarib, with respect, after that last game that we drew 2-2, you still think that this isn't a meaningless game?
No,
after that 2-2, I was ravaged by everything.
Yeah, of course.
I wanted his head. Bro, I want to go tomorrow. I want Liverpool to go for that Decore. I want somebody to take him out on that pitch. Seriously, I want somebody to take him out. I want to go to that and absolutely batter them. And it's a massive game, man. I'm shocked at your reactions to this game. Like, it doesn't matter, bro. This game matters. It matters to me. I want to batter these gits tomorrow, yard. They piss me off. It's Everton, man. You're there's nothing. And plus,
you know what it is?
We still need to go and win a title. We haven't won the title yet. We have to go still and win it.
You know what it is with Everton? Because they're not really good. I'm not really bothered by them. Like, if it was Manchester United tomorrow, I think I'd feel it a bit more because 20 titles, they've been dominant. Everton, I've not really seen Everton dominate English football when I was growing up. I always saw Man United. A lot of my friends are United fans, so probably United means a bit more to me than Everton. But Everton are shit. They've always been shit, so they don't really bother me. Is what I'm saying. When I look at the fixture schedule, when I look at the games come the start of the season, I don't go, oh, we're playing Everton. We'll look at when we're playing Man United. That's the first game I look at because United are capable of beating us. I don't think Everton, like United can come to Anfield, right? We know that they can come to Anfield and win, and they kind of proved it this season where they had a really good performance against us, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm beating the Anfield for God knows.
I know. I can't see Everton doing that at all. I've not seen Everton do that to us at Anfield probably ever since I started watching.
It's just that Richarlison win. I think they got us in the
even that COVID, man. Come on, man. We've lost to everyone that year, bro. Fulham, Chelsea, bro. I don't even, that season doesn't even count.
Asim, your mic, man, today.
Sorry.
That's one thing I can't compliment you on.
I was going to say there's nearly 1,000 people watching. across both platforms. There's about 700 people watching over on Twitter. What you guys can do on Twitter, close Twitter, jump on YouTube, smash a like and subscribe to the channel and do all that good stuff. We've done all the predictions. Just quickly, give me your midfield. I'll go around the table for tomorrow. Gene? You're on mute as well.
What's going on?
Grabs
Keith?
Szoboszlai, McAllister.
Sarib, you agree?
Endo, McAllister, Jones.
Endo, wow.
Yeah.
Is it because of the niggle that groundwork?
Yeah. Gav got pulled from the thing.
Curtis Jones starts tomorrow.
So you have to.
Avi?
Yes.
Who for?
He was really good in the final, to be fair.
Szoboszlai.
So you'd go Gravenberch, McAllister, and Jones.
Jones, yeah. I think he could be right with the Endo shout, though. That would be my preferred midfield, by the way. Not like I know something. Preferred midfield. I think Szoboszlai had a lot of legs, a lot of energy that he used at the Turkey games.
Okay.
He's played a lot of games, to be fair.
Both games, oh yeah, he put in both shifts against Turkey.
What do you think about Jones? And I'm not Jones. So I'll stick to this. What do you think?
I'm joking.
I'm not bullshitting here, Gene. Curtis Jones at right back. We'll have a lot of the ball tomorrow.
We will, but just I still don't think that. If you want me to be serious,
We've seen it before.
I know, but I can't really start Quansah.
Okay. Because the thing is, I don't see a lot of threat coming from Quansah. That's the only thing.
It may be a game that we don't need too much threat from him.
You think so?
No, I think we do.
I don't think they've got Dwight McNeil. They haven't got NG, whatever you call him. They are going to be proper like Beto.
Yeah, this guy's injured, isn't he?
Yeah,
I think Jack Harrison's available, and I think he's pretty decent 1v1.
Well, if Quansah's getting done by Jack Harrison, then we've got real issues then.
I think Quansah will start. I think Quansah will start just because of Everton's physicality as a team, not because whoever's going to be on there. But don't be surprised if it's 0-0 at after 60 minutes and we do something radical, because this manager has shown that he can do something radical. Okay, let's move on. Ekitike, Sarib, talk to me about him. You made a prediction on Twitter I saw about a couple of days ago. Everyone seemed to be agreeing with it. You said Isaac to stay at Newcastle, Liverpool to sign Hugo Ekitike, and Arsenal to get Sesko, was it?
Sesko / Gyökeres, one of them.
Gyökeres. And like I said, everyone seemed to agree with it.
Yeah.
Do you like Ekitike as a player?
Yeah, to be fair, I think he's got a good profile. I think he's matured quite a bit since he moved to Frankfurt from Paris Saint-Germain. I think he didn't really get his opportunity there, but I think he's kind of found his feet in the Bundesliga. And look, I think he maybe isn't a striker that's probably going to win you a league now. I think if you give him a season or two.
Oh, don't say that.
No, but I'm being honest. This is my observation from watching. I did a bit of research. I don't watch Bundesliga, but I've seen a few Europa League goals he scored and stats this season. And he is kind of there was a stat. I think he's underperforming his XG by like 5. I think he's supposed to have 19 goals in like 13 or 14, something like that. It is a bit of a concern, but look, that shows to me that this player is raw. I think people seem to forget that he still scored 13 goals. I think people cut down half saying, "Oh, he's missed 5 big chances that have cost him 5 goals. That should have been goals." That's fine. We got a striker that misses 20 a season. So if we're cutting 15 out of that, then fine. And he put it. And in my opinion, you put more chances into the box for Ekitike. I think his conversion rate is better than Darwin Núñez. People are calling him Darwin Núñez, but Darwin Núñez costs 85 million. This guy's not going to cost that. I don't think so. Anyway,
I think 70 million is the talk.
Well, I think it's going to be less than that. I don't think it's going to be that much. I think it'll be less than 70 million. And look,
Sarib, you know what?
His profile is very good. He's quick. He's good in the air. He's got 2 feet. He can finish. I think in the next 2 years, we might have the next Isak rather than Alexander Isak. And as soon as they said the next Isak, I knew this is going to be a Liverpool deal. And I knew a long time ago that's probably the guy we're going to sign. I think we're going to be priced out of Isak. And I think Arsenal moving to Gyökeres is also an example as to why they think, I think Isak is not for sale this summer. I think he stays personally. And I said this on the last show as well.
Gene, you seen much of him?
No, Asim, I haven't seen him at all.
No,
honest opinion. I don't.
Compilations.
I've seen a few compilations, and that's about it. He seems decent, a decent striker. But he's still, what is he, 20, 21, 22, still very young.
Yeah,
Decent
raw.
sort of numbers in the Bund.
Very raw. Yeah, very raw.
Yeah, he's good, but you can tell he's got something about him. He does. Sarib's right. He does remind me of a young sort of Isak in the way he plays. So he's got a bit about him. Yeah, the way he plays, he's got a bit about him. So I can understand why Sarib thinks no Isak, Etikite make Ekitike, whatever he's called. It makes sense in terms of profile, age, the fee. But again, Asim, how many when you look at Liverpool's model, has he played 150 games for us to look at really and say, okay, we're willing to drop 70 million quid on him? Approximately, that's what it's gonna take. Okay, maybe not 70, even if it's 60 million pounds. Have we? Is there enough sample size in terms of say, okay, this guy's the one to go and spend that sort of dough? I'm not too sure, if I'm honest. I think we will try. Personally, I think we have to go and get the finished article. We can't, whatever. Sometimes, especially with what's going on with Salah, we don't know what's going on. This time round, it's not about going and trying to buy a player is he going to be ready? We need the ready-made finished article. And
Who
even if
is
it
the
means
ready-made?
it's
It's
you got
just
to pay the
Isak.
door, Sim. You got to pay the door, innit? Pay the door. And
Isn't
people
any
can say what we
ready-made
want.
Europe, though, G?
It's Alexander Isak, you're gonna have to pay the
He's the only
door.
one, really.
He is the only one, and you have to go and pay the door for him.
Isak's
If they miss out on Champions League, look, if they miss out on Champions League,
Isak's not
we
going for
should.
150, by the way.
Of course,
Like,
he's not,
will he
man.
down?
If
Yeah,
they
it's
miss out on
come-
Champions League, they miss out on Champions. If they get Champions League, look, he stays. I can't see him leaving.
Yeah,
But there's a massive thing. If he misses out on UCL, you think he's not going to want to play the Champions League football for another season when he's arguably the most touted centre forward in world football? He's off in the summer if they don't get Champions League football. The fee's going to be astronomical, and whoever wants his game is definitely going to have to pay the door. Whether Liverpool, Arsenal are willing to go all out is another question. But we should be all over him, and there's some players that are basically whatever it costs. He's one of them, and we have to go and get the finished article. But Etikite, I like him, but I'm sorry, I want the finished article this summer.
I agree.
I know what I was going to say, Avi, is there was a bit of a discussion on Ekitike's. I think Sarib mentioned it, that he's underperforming. His XG is missing a few chances. But what I would say, 2 points, is there was a bit of context behind that where he missed a couple of penalties.
Yeah.
And the nerds won't probably judge you on the penalties. But what the old nerds at Liverpool Football Club, and we know they are nerds because it's the laptop, it's the data analysis. What they'll be judging Hugo Ekitike on is not the fact that he's underperforming his XG. Now, you might think, what the hell, what are you on about? He should be on X amount of goals, but he's got, this amount of goals. What the nerds will be thinking is he's 22. Can we scale him up? And what they do go by is his underlying numbers. And when you do look at his underlying numbers, they are good in terms of shot volume, shot creating actions.
Wasn't that similar to Darwin, though? When we got Darwin at 22, 23 years old?
No.
It was similar to Isak.
Darwin became a chance creator, and his underlying numbers were good at Liverpool. His underlying numbers weren't good at Benfica. So that's why people called it a Jurgen Klopp signing, because he was outperforming his XG at Benfica. So he was on about, 5-6 goals more than what he should have got. So that's when people say, is he a one-season wonder? Is it a sample size of a couple of seasons? And if you're doing that for a couple of seasons, then you might have to pay 15, 20 million more. Then you bring in, like what Gene is saying, the finished article, then aren't you? But I think the nerds will be looking at his underlying numbers. When you look at someone like Sesko, his underlying numbers are not great. And I think because what the nerds will be judging you on is the threat and not the output. Because they think if you've got that certain amount of threat over the course of 2-3 seasons, you'll perform and scale up. But obviously, Darwin Núñez, when he came to Liverpool, you have to give him 2-3 seasons and think, okay, he's just simply not a good finisher. He might get you in a certain place, but that doesn't generally happen. Generally happens if your underlying numbers are good, you can scale him up to a really good season. So what I would say about Ekitike is, Sarib, is his underlying numbers are good. Because they'll judge him by his threat and not his output.
That's fair. That's very, very fair.
I just want to come on this. He reminds me of a not playing wise, but this form that is in currently at Frankfurt. It reminds me of another Frankfurt striker at the time, Luka Jovic, who was the talk of the town. And he scored 27 in like 48. Gets a move to Real Madrid, and it was shooty after that, and nowhere to be seen. Ekitike, Asim, for me, it's a hard no. We have to go for the creme de la creme.
He's had the big.
We're trying to be realistic. We're trying to see it from FSG's perspective.
Yeah.
Isaac at 25 represents
okay.
value,
Look, let's rule out Isaac.
Value. No, no. One minute, Asim. When it's comes to shove, whether you lot say, "Oh, Van Dijk,"
we agree with you. We agree with you, Avi.
By Coutinho, they will go and get the top player. Listen, we were prepared to pay 110 million for Caicedo. Now, whether you guys want to believe it or not, an official bid went in. Ornstein reported it, Joyce reported it. Caicedo.
Okay.
Caicedo is the one. We did a show at midnight. Caicedo is the one who turned around and said, "No, I'm sticking with Chelsea." Yeah, Cholo TK. Naby Keita, 55 million. We went out because Jurgen Klopp said this guy could transform the midfield area. We got him for 55 a season early. But season early. That's why I think this season, like Gene says, we need the ready-made replacement because we've had the Nunez's, we've had the Diaz's. Underwhelming. We need to go for the ready product, knowing that he will get you 25 plus a season for the next 3-4 years. You know he's going to get you 25 plus. With Ekitike, no matter what you're saying about these extra XGs and these underlying numbers, you're not guaranteed the success. Mike.
Avi, but if we keep Salah, I think we can get away with it for a season. I think we can get away with it.
But there'll be a gradual decline in Salah too. So
Avi, I think...
And that's Go on, sorry.
Go on, sorry. Go on.
No, I was going to make a point by saying you can say me.
I think, Avi, me and Sarib agree with what you and China are saying. Which fan doesn't want to go for the finished article? But we're trying to see it from Liverpool, the way they run the club, unfortunately.
Yeah,
that's what we're trying to do.
Enough.
Okay.
That's fair, Asim, but what Avi's trying to...
What's that?
I tweeted, I speak for all Liverpool fans now, we want Alexander Isak, no one else. And a lot of
there
fans...
you go.
You don't speak for anyone but yourself, mate. You don't speak for me. So maybe it's just not you guys.
But if I'm honest with you, I genuinely believe, though, I think we will go all in for him, Avi. And really? Avi's right. When it matters, when push comes to shove, and when we really have to go, we have to go. And I think this, especially with what's happening with Diaz, especially what's happening with Nunez, especially with Salah, that's 3 of your forward, Jota, especially with our forward line. You simply can't go Etikite. It just doesn't make sense, especially when you're bringing in fees of approximately 60 million for Darwin, 60 million for what's his name, for Diaz. That's a lot of money to bring in if they leave. Then it doesn't make sense. How can you sell players that are not working for 60 and rely on a 22-year-old 50 million pound player? It doesn't make sense. You have to go.
That's why it makes sense for them. It makes sense for them. That's why it makes sense for them.
No, it doesn't make sense. You go. You have to because that didn't work.
From a footballing perspective, it doesn't make sense. But business standpoint for them, it makes sense, and that's what they run. They run it as a business.
I get it, but they have to. Otherwise, if you get rid of 3 or 4, I think there's a potential that 3 or 4 forwards going to leave, right? Avi said this. Maybe I think there's a chance 3 will go. You can't get rid of 3 and bring 2 players that you're not 100% sure with. Where one's a 21-year-old. If you said to me Isaac and another one that said 21, yeah, I get it. You know what? We're trying to save ourselves. We're trying to bring one through, and we're bringing one finished article. That makes sense. But you have to go on one player in that forward line this summer. We have to go all out. And
I think 120 million is probably what Newcastle would want if they don't get UCL. If they get Champions League football, then I think it's going to be a very hard task. Very hard task. Then we need Isaac to push the agenda, but I'm not sure if he will.
Does the reports of Real Sociedad sell-on clause make it more complicated?
I think Newcastle haven't paid all the fee yet for Isak. Something like that.
I think with the Ekitike, you'll need like a Liam Delap to come in too.
Probably, yeah. I can see
the pressure and just because first season, I think you need like another sort of number 9 come in.
Well, you know how much that's going to cost you. Them two players.
Ekitike, I know Liam Delap will be 40 million because they're going to be relegated.
100 million.
Yeah,
100 million there then.
Yeah, but then you've got 2 strikers rather than 1. I think that's how they think. I'd rather have 2 strikers that can probably score 15 goals than 1 that can score. Actually, no, maybe not.
I wasn't his biggest fan. I
don't think we get him.
I wasn't his biggest fan, but Cunha has won me over.
Yeah,
so if we can't do a deal for Isaac, I would get Cunha ahead of Ekitike for me.
But guys, if we sign Isak, I don't think we sign anyone else. That's all our budget gone. I think 150 million.
No,
No,
man,
no, no, no.
no,
That's
yeah,
what I
definitely,
believe,
yeah.
and that's why I don't want to take that risk because look, we didn't do the Bellingham deal, and then we got 4 players for the price of 1 Bellingham, and it just screams the same for Isak. We don't go in for
No.
Isak because it's priced, and we
Asim,
sign
we're
3-4
Come on,
attackers.
yeah.
Sarib, we're gonna
Avi,
recoup. We're gonna recoup a lot more. This
that
is
we're gonna recoup a lot of money. There's a difference is that we recoup we recoup a lot. That's the issue with the midfield makeover. To be honest with you, we actually nearly had the most unthinkable transfer window. It would have been perfection if Caicedo came in that summer as him. It would have been the perfect revamp. McAllister, Soboslai, what's his name, Gravenberg, and Caicedo. That was perfection. Asim, you're on thingy. Okay, maybe not. We might not have got Gravenberg at the time. Asim, fair. But them 3, that is a complete revamp in all 3 positions. The 3 players that we couldn't even dreamed of at that time. Brilliant footballers, ready to go. I think we might see something similar in terms of the forward line, where one player we have to go all out. You can't risk bringing all 3 40, 50, 60 million pound. One we have to go all out, and one. This is why I agree. One like of Jota will stay. I think we'll go big on one. Have to go big on one because you have to guarantee.
I agree with you. I agree with you, but I trust the manager, but I don't trust the owners.
Which is fair. I think
that makes
you've
sense
got enough.
We stored 5 million for the whole summer for Lavia, and then we put 110 million down for Caicedo a month later, thinking that it's going to get accepted. Like, to me, it doesn't make sense. They knew that bid was going to get accepted, and he wanted Chelsea. They knew it. Why did they go in for it? Why did they store someone for 5 mil? Why did they do that? Because they knew they just didn't want to spend the money. It's very simple. They knew they weren't getting Caicedo. Like, we're not stupid, bro. Come on, like, we know how football works.
I think they did. I'll be honest with you. I think the bid was genuine. I think the bid was genuine.
Jurgen confirmed it though. Jurgen
No, Avi, forget Jurgen. Brighton owner, forget everything. Brighton owner came out and said he wanted to actually sell him to us the way we conducted with Liverpool, the way Liverpool conducted themselves, and the way they went about their business. Yes, it might have been slightly panicked, like McCarthy. I think they panicked. They did panic at that time. They went through the door and said, you know what? And they did think Chelsea might struggle to buy him at that time with the deal, and that's why they wanted to try to get the deal done quickly. If you remember getting it, but it just didn't work. Okay, they tried. That doesn't mean I'm an FSG sport. I will go to town on them because they've absolutely battered us in so many transfer windows where I felt they left us 1 or 2 players short. But I will always say the truth. That player they did go for, even though they've let us down so many other times. They didn't let us down on trying to get Caicedo. And I think this summer the forward line. And look, let's wait and see what happens. But we have to go big on that number.
I think there must be some legs to Ekitike because look.
Fabrizio said it today as well.
Not that it's a bomber, but look, we have had scouts to look to go and who've seen Frankfurt because of Nathaniel Brown too, the left back that we like. So I'm sure they've done a scout report on Ekitike too. So if there's truth in it, let's see.
There's Mo asks a question. Asim, can we talk about how Ekitike has only looked good in the front two? Mo, I don't watch him as much as you. I only really start watching a player when there's really, really strong links. Then I'll start looking at the profile of player and stuff. I should be doing it more often, but when Avi gives me a player, then I start looking at the player. I was another question for Liga about Ekitike. No, Avi, I know I don't want to. My only concern about this, what we're talking about, we go big on one player, this and that. It just scares me how we work and how much we're prepared to invest, even though we can recoup some money. And Avi, you've been talking about this reset and this and that, but I think how Liverpool will see it is they'll go for the areas that they need to improve on. So if Trent leaves or when Trent leaves, I think we'll buy a right back. I think we'll buy a left back. Everyone agrees upon that. I think we'll buy a striker. Obviously, Nunes is going to leave. And then I think we'll buy a left winger or a guy who can play across the line. Someone like Xavi Simons who can play inside the 10 or just as a normal standing 10. We'll come on to Xavi Simons, whether we want or we think he's the right person or player for Liverpool. My biggest fear this summer is that Liverpool do not buy a centre-back. That's how I think they'll buy a right back. They'll buy a left back. They'll buy a 10/ right winger, left winger who can do bits of everything, and they'll buy a striker. I'm fearing that they don't buy a centre back and they'll go with the same four. Then what will they'll see is get those as priorities and then see what happens. If I get a decent offer for Harvey Elliott,
Gravenberch centre back cover.
As hypothetically to you, if we were to get rid of Tsimikas and Gernot Robertson, and we brought in Hato and Kirkis, does Hato not cover the left centre back position and the left back role?
that was my next thing go to, because I don't think we buy two, Harvey. I think we'll buy one.
Well, there's a certain
That's just a good feeling.
There's a certain Bajicic that's been on loan at Las Palmas and doing
and
well.
I think we'll use him next season in midfield. We'll use him at right back. Might even use him at centre back.
So you're basically saying that we're going to sell ourselves short yet again?
Yes.
Fair enough.
Okay. Well, Hato's done though, Asim. So relax about Hato in him, because Mr. David Ornstein, the right hand side, told us Hato's done ho gaya 3-4 months ago. So relax about Hato. We shouldn't even talk about Hato. He's done ho gaya.
Silly things I'm
I haven't said anything else to the contrary. I haven't said nothing to the contrary.
I'm just saying, Avi, I'm not having a go at you.
You're reaffirming.
Mr. Ornstein has already said that Hato's done. So Hato ho gaya. Yeah, we're just going to go.
Hato ho gaya. Go on, Asim.
So you think we'll bring Hato and Kirkes?
No, because he said it's not happening.
He
already said Kirkes. He said Kirkes good. Finished ho gaya. Chine finished ho gaya. We're not going to go in for Kirkes anymore. Okay, Kirkes. He said no. I'll tell you what he said. Kirkes. He said it's not happening because we're not going to go there. It's too expensive, Chine. We're not going to go there. It's not happening.
I never said that. 18th of December, I tweeted that Bournemouth are asking for 45-50 million. Now, reports came out on Sunday by reliable journalists saying that Bournemouth are asking for 45 million. I knew in December, and what I was told by source was that we had cooled our interest. And we were looking at other options. Other options, Nathaniel Brown, which hasn't come out in the outside media or anything like that we've been linked with him. Okay, and Hato is a option that we've looked for quite a while as a youngster coming in. So that's what I was given, that information. That information hasn't changed, Gene. So if Kirkes is to sign, if he does sign for this football club, I'll go back and hands up. I'll give two chupera to my source. Because I was told in December, on the 18th, that we had cooled interest after Bournemouth said that we're wanting 45-50 million. And I tweeted this. So I'm not lying. And that news came true. That came into fruition. A month, what we know? March 29th it came out. So who's right and who's wrong? There you go. You're
mute, Gene.
Can I speak? Look, he said to me at the time, Kirkes, we're not getting Kirkes. We're not getting him.
I said it on the show.
Everybody knew.
I didn't never say we're never going to get him.
I look at this. What's the point of me speaking? Raman, relax, chill. Let me just speak now. He said to me, Mr. Know-it-all, that Kirkes, we're not getting Kirkes. Hato's done. We're getting Hato instead. He's going to be the player that we're going to sign on that position. That's what he said. I remember it. And we're not signing Kirkes. Kirkes is too expensive. We're not even going to go in for him. He said it numerous times. We're not going. And now if Kirkes happens even at 45 million, if Kirkes happens at 45 million,
fair play was wrong.
So you were chatting shit.
No, I wasn't chatting shit.
Okay.
Because I was the first one to say that.
If the deal happens at 45 million, you were chatting shit.
Asim, from December 18th, from Bournemouth saying that we want 45 to 50 million for him in the summer. A lot can happen between then and March. We know on Sunday, Bournemouth have put out a stance saying that they have put out a stance. It's not ITK. It's factual.
Covering your tracks,
that's why I'm talking calmly with you. On the 29th on Sunday, they've come out with a stance saying we want 45 to 50 million. Now, if we pay Asim, it means that we really want the player. But from what I was told in December, we had cooled our interest, not ended our interest, just cooled us, backed off a little bit. So let's see if we pursue it or not. There you go.
I love the way these ITKs would cooled our interest. Might be speaking to him. All this bullshit and palaver that they come out with. Yeah, they cover every single track of their Asim. This is what they do. They covered all their tracks that they've done previously. Anyway, carry on, man.
I'm not
honestly,
yeah.
You're not gonna leave because you can't.
Gina, I leave for Fridays.
I think
honestly, man.
I think
he's going within range on Fridays. Sarib, talk to me about Xavi Simons. You think he's good enough for Liverpool? Is your name Sarib? Thank you.
I think we actually generally are forgetting that we are going to be Premier League champions. We're going to win the league title, and we're signing players that don't even start for the national team. I think that's a big problem, mate. Now everyone's gonna say to me, "Oh, Xavi Simons is young. There's room for development, mate. You've just said to me, and all the comments have agreed that we need to win now. So I don't want these players that are they're gonna grow to be this player. They're gonna extend their leader. Their value of player will increase. Their stats will get better. No, I don't want.
Ali likes him.
I want the finished article, and he is not the finished.
Ali likes you.
No. I'm not saying that he's not.
Well, look, Sarib, you just said when we were talking about Isaac, you said you own the finished article. But
Yeah,
we were saying that they're not going to go for the finished article.
Yeah, but what? Simmons,
my boy, my guy.
Simmons is what I think Liverpool will go for, but it's not a player I want. I don't want Ekitike. Like I said, I want players that are finished now. I don't want them to take one.
People haven't seen Xavi Simmons. They must have watched him at the Euros.
Look, Sarib. Can I just say one thing? Look, I'm going to be honest.
He's not seen Ekitike, but he's seen Simmons.
I'm gonna speak about Simmons. I'm going to speak about Simmons. Sarib just said, Sarib, you said Simmons doesn't play for the national team. Yeah, that's bullshit, bro. Well. The guy played from when I remember watching him every single game at the Euros, put it that way. And that's only a year ago, Asim? Euros. He played every single game for them. I'm sure he got a few assists. I remember him scoring against a game goal as well. One second, let me speak. So you said, look, I'm just, if you say something, back it up, bro.
He starts
for his country. So he plays for his country. No? Does he not play for his country? He's 21. Was it 21 years old?
Never judge a player on international level.
Avi, one second. He goes, no, Sarib said he has to be playing for his country. Well, the guy is playing for his country. That's my point. That he does play for his country. So don't say he doesn't play for his country when he does. He's 21. So when you say something, back it up. I'll be honest with you. You mentioned these players from going at Shite, playing in the Bundesliga. Yeah, with respect, they're going at the Bundesliga. They're putting up some decent sort of numbers, and you want them, right? Xavi Simon's numbers.
He didn't start the last game.
He scored 6. He played 6. I checked the stats before I spoke on here because I was making sure.
He didn't start the last game.
6. He played 6 games, scored 1 goal, had 3 assists in the Euros. That is a flipping good tournament, if you ask me. Anyway. One second.
What are Xavi Simmons?
21-year-old.
Verbruggen, Getruda, Van Heck, Van Dijk, Hato, Reinders, Kluivert, De Jong, Frimpong, Depay, and Gakpo. There's no Xavi Simmons in that 11.
Yeah, and the one that you put on. So what about his 6 games?
That's the most recent one. That's the most recent one.
Judging by these stats here.
So what? One game he doesn't play. That doesn't make any. Doesn't prove your point that he doesn't play for his country. When I've just proven to you he does.
Judging by these stats here, is that good enough for you? Sarib, is that good enough?
You put Harvey Elliott in that league, he'll get more than that.
Fair play. Sancho, look at Sancho's numbers.
Timo Werner scored 50 goals in that league. I'm not taking that goal serious. I'm not taking that league serious.
In a season.
Oh, he scored how many goals?
He scored 35 in a single season for Leipzig. Yeah,
so many goals. I'm not taking that league serious.
Yeah, but we bought Gakpo from a worse league.
Yes, exactly. And it took him how long to get adapted? That's what I don't want. I want someone that can come in and do the job now, not next year.
So if I give you Florian Wirtz, you're going to say no because he did it in the German league. Answer the question. Answer the question.
Listen. Even him.
Or do not doubt Florian Wirtz and say even him.
Not doubt him. Let me finish.
By the way, I'm not putting these comments. Why are you putting these comments up?
No. So you wouldn't sign Florian Wirtz because he plays in Germany.
No, but I have my doubts about players coming from that league. I have my doubts about the Bundesliga players.
There you go, innit? That's him.
What doubt Florian Wirtz and these players here, like even me, I've done my research on him. Look at Leverkusen.
He wanted Hincapie. Do you know what Hincapie?
I gave up with these players. These people, you've just, look, Asim. He goes, I don't want players. He goes, I do that. In that position, you mentioned Florian Wirtz, 30 basu Johnny. They go quiet.
Even Frimpong.
And how can you doubt Florian Wirtz in that position, bro? It doesn't make sense to me, man.
I didn't doubt Florian Wirtz.
Come on, they're gonna say we don't want Musiala.
I doubt players coming from that league. I'm not doubting Florian Wirtz.
I'm just giving you Florian Wirtz. So we doubt Musiala.
There's only one player in that league I think comes into this team and makes it elite. And that guy plays for Bayern Munich, and his name is Jamal Musiala. That is the only guy in that league.
Because that's what I just mentioned him now.
We have to be realistic, man.
No, that's what I'm saying. And Xavi Simons is realistic, and I don't want him because he's going to take a year or two to get to the level. Harvey Elliott does better than that in that Leipzig team. And I can see Harvey Elliott replacing Xavi Simons at Leipzig.
So which league?
Asim.
So which league do you want to players from? Okay, you go. Which players do you want league?
I want players from our own league.
Name me a 10 in the Premier League that you want. That's going to make sense.
We don't need a 10. We don't need one. We don't need a 10. We don't need number 10.
So your beard out of here next time.
We don't need a number 10. We don't need a number 10.
I was about to end the stream.
Oh, yeah, good. You did it.
Harvey, stick around for 5. We'll go in 5.
I've got 4:15, 11.
Let him go. Asim. If he needs to go, he needs to go.
Okay, take care.
We don't need a
Sarib, 5-hour corner. Xavi Simons, no. Should be.
Look, go sort your beard out.
Look, my issue with Xavi, look, Asim, when you mention Xavi Simons, I want to understand why not. That's my key. Okay, you can say I don't play the players in the league. You said he doesn't play in the. I think I'm not gonna lie to you, Asim. I've watched him a few times. He's 21. He's in the last couple of years, he's got a fantastic record. He did unbelievably at PSV. The league Gakpo did really, really well in. Went to the German league. Has done really well at Leipzig. So what are you basing it on then? What are you? Then you're just saying, because he was in the German league. Oh, he was in the Dutch league. Oh, he's in the Italian league. You only want players from what? The English Premier League, and you only want players from the Spanish league. Is that what it is now?
I've always said I prefer signing players from our own league, even though they're premium them, because you get to see firsthand week in, week out how they'll play against teams in that league. Which is why I have said Alexander Isak. Always, I've said I want Alexander.
I'd rather have these players. I'm with you, but you can't say one player. Yeah, you want one player from a league and then the other man. Anyway, look, Xavi Simons. I'll be honest with you. I would buy Xavi Simons, but I wouldn't pay 65-70 million quid for him. That's the difference. If Xavi Simons is available for around 50 million quid, I'll take him.
I wouldn't.
50 million quid, I think, for Xavi Simons, a 21-year-old. He's got a bit about him. And yes, he's still only 21. And I get the shout. That it's going to take a year, might take a year or two to settle. Yeah, but the guy has got something about him. But if I had a choice in that position as him, I want players like Morgan Rodgers if we're going to go and spend 70, 80, 89 million. That's the difference. I've always said I love Morgan Rodgers. If
Gene, we're not gonna. You wanted us to buy Isak and Rodgers. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
Honest. What I would say though is, if we go Isak, then we might. And if we want to address, and I think he probably does want to address the number 10 role. That doesn't mean Szoboszlai is not gonna start, but especially against a bus where you need a number 10 to be in those areas, and we're gonna feed him the ball a bit more. He probably wants to address it for that reason, where you want someone more creative, and that's where Ryan Cherki might be an option, Gene, where you can pick him up for £20 million. If you're going to go big with the number 9, you have to balance the book somehow. I
accept that, but because if we're going to sell the likes of Harvey Elliott as him, and Harvey Elliott isn't exactly going to go for 15 million quid, Harvey Elliott's going to bring in. If you look, I don't want to play champ manager again. Yeah, I really don't want to do this. But if we're selling Harvey Elliott, we're selling Darwin Núñez. We're selling Jota. That is 200 million.
Exactly.
You have to understand approximately 180. That is a lot of money, man. It's not. If we sell them 3 players, you bring in a lot of money where you can potentially sign one really, really big player and then go and spend at least 40-50 million on another, and maybe go a Ryan Cherki 15-20 million. That makes sense. I can accept that. Because 3 players are going, 3 are coming in, fine. But you can't say, we're going to sign Isak and just get one player. Nah, man, you got to go out and spend big. Cherki makes sense because of his fee, Asim. It makes perfect sense. If Harvey Elliott goes, you go big on one player, and I agree with you totally. Cherki and an Isak make complete sense to me.
I think Jota stays at the club though, Gene.
I said Darwin. If Harvey Elliott is sold, I think Jota stays as well, because I think that brings in the money.
Yeah, because I think Liverpool will have a list of 4 or 5 players in those 4 areas I explained: the right back, the left winger or / number 10, and the striker. Then what will happen is they treat every situation as it comes. As in, they might even let Endo go if they think Bajcetic can do his job as the 6 and the guy who covers that right back, centre back, as he's shown in Spain this year. Then they'll wait if they get a decent offer. Because if they just get a decent an offer for 20 million, 25 million for Harvey Elliott, they'll keep him at the club. Simple as.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's what I mean. Those 4 areas and potential, like for example, Gomez. If he wants to go, they'll bring in Guy. Or am I pronouncing his name right? But you know who you mean, the defender from Palace, and he's more of a utility player as well. They'll treat each situation as it is. They might not have. They'll have a little short list as a contingency plan for them lot, but they won't see it as a priority, and that's my only concern. They don't see the centre back. We've never replaced Matip, and it's taken ages. But we've got a couple of super chats that we didn't get to, so I apologize if these. I know Billy's in the chat, but SJT Garrison hates. He sent this super chat a while ago, so my bad for not putting it up earlier, mate. If you're not in the chat, why are we doing the Vogue thing to do the next Isak? Do me a favor and get Victor Osimhen, proven talent. Who cares if he's 27 or 28? Sarib Osimhen, you don't play in the Premier League, so you won't buy him.
To be honest, he's got the problem with him is higher wages. I think if he was on lower wages, I think I've seen him play against us. And I thought he's pretty good against us, to be fair. And I know that's not it's not a bar to be judging players on. We've seen Minamino and Nunes. I thought Minamino was quite decent, but especially with Darwin Nunes and Luis Diaz, that's not a bar to judge players on. But I think Osimhen's profile is a problem. He's very, very tall as well. He's very, very quick. Gets in behind. He's got 2 feet. Got a great finish, and he looks cool with his mask on. But his wages are too high. And yeah, I agree. He's got Chelsea.
Leave the wages out. If I forget the wages, would you sign him?
It's very high though. It's quite high.
It is high.
Would I sign Osimhen ahead of yes, but there's a few players I'd have ahead of him, like Gyökeres, like Isak, like Alvarez. But I think Osimhen will be definitely a good addition to this to our team.
Mohammed's he's been, I think, spamming the chat. I've tried to ignore it as best as I can. But Asim said last week that he had the bomber for us on Tuesday. Mohammed, I've not got permission to share it yet. When I do, I promise you,
it's toilet.
I'll tweet it and I'll tell you on the show as well.
Let me address something before you carry on, because it's related.
One more super chat. Oh, you put that up actually. Go on.
Everyone keeps saying Sarib said he wants Ektika, who plays in Germany. Mate. I do not want this guy. This is the guy who I think we're going to sign. And I'm sitting there making myself believe that this guy is going to be good for us, because I have to do that as a Liverpool fan, because we always get left short. I want Alexander Isak. I do not want this guy. But the more I've watched of this guy, the more I'm impressed with this guy. I do not want this guy, but I think we're going to go get this guy. And I have to sit there and make myself believe that this guy's going to be good. And the more I've watched him, the more research I've done, I've been more and more impressed by him. Facts. That's it. I'm not going to address that again.
How much
Victor Osimhen is on 200 grand a week.
I think we can get him for. I don't think he'll ask for a big.
Well, listen, boys. By the way, I've just googled that, so if I'm wrong, forgive me. But from what I've seen, Victor Osimhen's on
he's on 10 mil a season.
Somewhere 250. Sorry, 250.
250.
Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, 250. Wow. Asim.
Yeah, that's not happening. But why? How old is Gyökeres, Sarib?
26, I think.
So he's at his peak of his powers.
And he's played in England before. Played in the Championship, and I thought he was pretty decent there. He's 26.
82 games, 93 goals, and 18 assists. Is that in Portugal?
It's pretty good.
No, but we don't want to look at Portugal League, innit? Of stats, because we don't rate other leagues out there.
That's why I'm a bit cautious about him as well.
That Shukara, you're cautious, because that's worse. That's a worse league, by the way.
Yeah, I don't want players from that league either.
Well, maybe that's why 26.
We don't want. Sarri don't want like any league in the world, man. You don't want no player from any side in Europe. They have to be English. They have to play for England.
All of our players that really did really well for us. Majority of them came from playing in the Premier League previously. Mane, Salah, Van Dijk, etc.
I have no issue. I prefer that. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that's one thing I agree with you. But that doesn't mean you can't sign players from other leagues. You don't hate them.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Arsenal fans think Gyökeres is their backup plan. Seem confident.
So he's the backup plan. Who's the number one target? Sesko.
Isak.
I'm joking with him, you know.
Sesko. Bilal NBA, thank you very much for your super chat as ever, supporting the brothers. He says, Assalamu alaikum, Eid Mubarak. Ekitike for 55 million, Cunha for 50 million, Jota to go for 40 million, and Nunes for 60 out. His profile is like Isak, who mentioned him first. Actually, he did.
He
I
did.
actually gave this player to Avi, and Avi said, did he used to play for PSG? And I said, yeah, but Bilal's told me about this player. Check him out. So big up to Bilal. He's always given me his. Have you seen his lists? He should be on Twitter. He should be on
Oh,
Twitter.
no, he should.
And they all
He knows,
categorize.
he knows the game, to be fair to him.
So yeah. Any other players that we've been linked to, Sarib, over the last couple of days?
No, just Kirkes, Frimpong. I think Frimpong's another one we should, especially with the right back situation. I think Frimpong's been spoken about quite a bit. I know he got shut down, but what do you guys think of Jeremy Frimpong as a right back option for Liverpool next season?
Look, it depends which way.
Schlotterbeck, first.
Yes, Schlotterbeck.
It
depends which. I'd be slightly surprised if we go Frimpong and Kirkes next season.
You think?
Because we don't have a natural six, Sarib.
Yeah, but that's why I think we're going to get left short.
But what I'd be surprised. The reason why I'd be surprised is I think Slot won't do it. I don't see the thinking behind it. With flying fullbacks, you need someone who can mop up on both sides.
You need a Fabinho.
Gravenberch isn't that player.
Yeah. See, that's the problem, because if you sign Frimpong, they need to sign a defensive midfield player and then cover space. And
but what I would say, is
1 second, Asim. If Trent, 1 second, Trent stays, we sign Kirkes. What's the difference? If Trent stayed at this football club and we signed and we've been after Kirkes, do you think we wouldn't have signed Kirkes?
Because I think the way we build up, Trent is comfortable at being cautious and being part of the build up.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't think that Frimpong is that. I think he's more of a wing back.
Fair.
I think if we see Frimpong right back, we're going to see Szoboszlai a lot deeper next season. A lot deeper than we probably see him this season. I can see him covering
the way we press,
that right hand side, mate, going forward with the
I know. That right.
That right hand side going forward with Salah, Frimpong, bro, it'd be anthem, mate. I'm telling you, we'll be causing havoc. Yes, we might concede a couple, but bro, we would cause some havoc on that right hand side, bro.
Well,
I'm telling you,
Angelo Stiller has a 30 million release clause, but I don't think he covers space really well. If you've got flying fullbacks, you need someone to mop up. You need someone, and Baleba's that player. I think he can mop up. Whether we spend 80 million pounds, it's not going to happen. I really want us to buy Baleba for a guy who's 19 years old. He's really raw, but he's got all the attributes as to what you can develop into him. He can be disciplined. He can be coached to be still. Pardon the pun. And then he's got all the attributes to be expressive off the ball as well. But
you still think we're in for a 6, by the way, guys? You still think we're in for a number 6? Or it's not priority anymore? It might have been last summer.
I don't think it's priority.
That's madness.
I agree.
That's utter madness. That.
I agree.
I agree with you guys, but I think that's crazy. How can you go from that to that in 1 year?
Because there are other areas that need it more right now, Sarib.
That's the thing, Sarib.
That's the simple truth.
The reason.
And it is the truth. You can't say, you would sign a 6 over a left back. No chance. You can't say you'd sign a 6 over a centre forward right now. No chance. If Trent goes, you need a right back. Of course, I wanted Baleba as the 6. He was my number 1 player that I wanted. But right now, there are other pressing issues.
So what you're basically saying to me, Gene and Asim, is that this summer, there's going to be too much work to be done that's not going to be completed in this summer.
That's why Asim's worried. That's why Asim said we're
going to I believe if Bajcetic continues his form, the narrative will be he can support Gravenberch in that role.
Also not good enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's not obviously he's not the finished article, is he?
There's too many ifs about these players. There's too many.
Look, I'll be honest. I'm not. I'm in
the league. It's not good enough.
Sorry, with respect, we won the league with these players. So let's put a bit of respect.
And then what I would say about Frimpong.
We will improve.
My last bit on Frimpong, Gene.
Yeah,
I see it as a deal that they think that it makes sense.
Why? Yeah.
Is because especially if you lose a few forwards, we never know with him. Chiesa, I know the narrative and the messages that he's really happy with Hingy. I can see Frimpong as being a backup to Salah as well.
Yeah, I can see that as well, to be fair.
Not like, he's going to start doing 20 minutes here and there. And then Conor Bradley's injury record, he can cover at right back if need be. I think they see it as a deal that it makes sense for, 35 million release clause or something?
Yeah.
It's an FSG deal. So I won't be surprised if he's at the club.
In terms of the 6, more goals. We won the league with Salah, but if this side, and we still understand that this team still needs and still has areas that we can really improve of. We know that left back position really can improve on if Kirkes came in. We know that with a number 9, even if it's a Osimhen or a Sesko, whoever he is going to inshallah be an improvement to the number 9 that we've had recently. Yes, Gakpo's done well, to be fair to him. And if we bought in another centre back and the thingy, this team will improve regardless of us signing a 6. There's still going to be improvement in this team. So this is why I think, look, we can probably just get away with it, not signing it for the time being.
Which what annoys me is, and I mentioned this on Twitter as well, is the narrative and the message. When we were crying out for an alternative, nobody saw Gravenberg doing as well as he has done this season. Whoever says they saw that is a liar. Simple as. We all said he's a great footballer, brilliant on the ball, but to be really this good, I know he's showing the effects of fatigue and tiredness as well over the last 5-6 weeks. But generally speaking, he's been one of our best players this season.
100%.
Everybody would agree with that. But the narrative when we didn't get Zubimendi, and even the manager, to be fair to him, to be honest, said, if we really want to improve this team, there's not many players around the world that can improve this number 11, this 11. When you watch how that narrative changes this year, all of a sudden, Ekitike can improve this team. All of a sudden, give me a few names that,
Simmons.
last year,
Konya,
this and that. Now there might be an improvement on Nunes, but Nunes doesn't start. Improve the first team. Go get Isak. Go get
Konya does improve us, Asim. Konya improves our number 9. I don't care who. Hey, he's better than any of our 9s.
I agree.
Kirkes, if they're bringing Kirkes improves our left-sided left back. So they've sorted out 2 problems.
Yeah, but how do you improve? Why don't you bring Belaber in?
Because I'm not saying that we shouldn't sign him. I agree. Belaber's before I saw Brown, I was all in Belaber. I want physicality.
Didn't Varela improve us? The area.
That's a fair point. Yeah, you would.
He's dropped off.
That's what I mean.
At that time, yes.
That's what I mean.
Fair.
At that time, he did.
Fair point.
Look, they're probably saying that we
point.
were right in that because Varela's had a pretty indifferent season at Porto.
But we did know that. There was about 4 or 5, like who's the other kid from Atlanta? Edison.
Edison. I still think he's good. I think he has some move in the summer. I think probably ends up City.
Look, I think Ale is right. Look, I'll be honest with you. I think one thing is we won't address all our shit, expect bare minimum. We probably will. And I think, like Asim says, if an opportunity comes where we can spend, we will. If it doesn't, we just won't take a chance. And I think the previous windows and everything have shown us that we won't go and spend stupid in the markets where we don't need to. But they have to go and back slot and at least give him 4 players that are either going to start or at least 100% really challenge for their spot.
I don't see 4.
Really challenge.
I don't see 4. I think 3 is a push. I think 3 is a push.
You think we only bring 3 players, Sarib?
Yeah, Frimpong, Kirkes, and Ekitike. That's it. No one else. We don't sign no one else, in my opinion.
But you think 4 or 5 are going to leave?
I think we lose Nunes, Diaz, Endo. I think Endo could stay. I think he's 50-50. Morton leaves. Simicast leaves. And that's
Trent's gone. You need right back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Gomez stays, Kanate stays, Van Dijk stays, Salah extends. So yeah, I think we lose Diaz and Nunes.
So if you think we lose Diaz and Nunes, we're gonna buy 1 forward.
I genuinely believe that.
So
and then they promote Jadon Dance to the first team. I can see that. I can see that genuinely. I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, come on. They're not gonna bring. Look. They're not gonna let Diaz and 1 second. They're not gonna let Diaz and Darwin leave for 120 million and just sign an Etikite for 60 million quid, bro.
See it though, Chino. Being honest, I can see it.
Come on, man. Yeah, if you said to me, them 2 are gonna go and we're gonna put that 120 million pound down for Alexander Isak, yes, that's understandable.
Sarib,
come on, yeah. Are you taking the lip? Elliot might be going for 45 million, 40 million. We're not gonna replace Elliot. 3 players.
Sarib,
I don't think he leaves as well. I think
Sarib, are you saying Ekitike, yeah?
Yeah.
Frimpong
and Kirkes.
And Kirkes.
I'd be very surprised if we sign anyone.
80 million. That's probably about 150 million, yeah?
Yeah. I think we're going to be in profit in the summer.
think there'll be
yeah.
there should be riots if we're in. If we're in.
I genuinely
yeah.
believe we're going to be in profit.
Look,
Hope I'm wrong.
I go for the owners all the time, and I always will.
I'm being serious. I don't have any, what gives you
come
any,
on, man.
what
You're
gives
having
you-
a laugh
What gives you any like kind of inkling that they're
because
gonna
you
do
can't
I just don't
sell
see it.
Luis Diaz, Darwin Nunes, and Etikite, whoever that
Gene,
is, and say that's our forward line.
My argument is, Gene, we won the league and they only really put money down when we didn't get in the top 4. Other than that, they didn't spend. That's my
No,
argument.
this
When we won the
slightly
league, they gave us Adrian and Elliott. When we didn't finish top 4, they gave us Sobersley, Endo, Gravenberch, and McAllister. See the difference there? When you miss out the Champions League money, they want to get back into it.
I everything you're saying is right. I'm not disagreeing with you, but at that time, we were a world-class football team, man. Our 11 were the world-class practically in every single position. Yeah, we were, and all of our players were 23, 4, 5 maximum. We were at the prime of our players. I'm not sticking up for the owners, by the way. Right now, yes, we won the league, but there are still positions that really need sorting out. So that's why I think they will go and spend this summer. I genuinely believe that the owners will go and spend this summer because they're going to recuperate a lot. If you said to me they're going to go and spend 250 million without recuperating, put Lija, that ain't happening. But we're definitely going to spend what we're going to at least sell these players for, yard. 100, you have, there's no ifs or buts about it.
Bilal with the brace. Thank you very much again. Stiller, 35 million. Frimpong, 35. Kirkes, 45. Ryan Shirky, 25. Etikite for 60 million. All make sense. These are release clauses, by the way. I think Diaz stays. Jota is. Oh, he thinks Diaz stays. Wow. With Diaz, Bilal, I think he's at a point of his Liverpool career where it's either he's
make or break.
Chuti, he wants a new contract. Liverpool are not willing to sign him up to a new contract because they don't see the output unless he accepts peanuts again. I think, generally speaking, he's on peanuts compared to the other players.
Yeah.
And they think now is the right time to cash in on him. So that's why I think Liverpool will treat those players, the ones that they want to go, or with a question mark, is with the value of transfer. And I think Diaz has got a bigger transfer value than Jota because of his injury record as well.
Yeah.
So I think they'll get more money for Diaz than Jota. Would it be a surprise if Diaz stays? No. I think he's more likely to stay, to go compared to someone like Jota.
And I think we will go and if we do sell him, there are players in that position that we can go for. There are players that we want. If we bring in 60 million for Diaz, there are other players in the world football. Nico Williams, what's his name, Gordon. There are players out there that you can go and spend. Yes, you're gonna have to put a little bit more money in, but there are players that we like and we will and going to the market for. People have mentioned Diaz is 29. You have to sell.
I think this is important to highlight. I hope Sarib is wrong. We've seen this story. We've seen this story numerous times. The best indication of the future is the past. Do you think they brought Edwards and his mate to splash the cash? No, they brought them in because they are the best at making money for them, and that's why they brought them back. It's very, very simple, and that's why.
And plus, they're good at buying. The buys have been pretty good. Look, as long as we bring in, Asim, if you said to me that that Edwards and these guys, when they buy, they're going to bring in 6 players. If you said to me they're bringing in 6 players, I trust them with the 6. Regardless if they don't get, even though I'm dying for us to get Alexander Isak, if they bring in 6 and they bring in a forward, a winger, a left back, a right back, a centre back, and a DM, 6 players they bring in, right? I trust them buy players with the 6 they're going to buy. That's one thing I will say to you because of what they've done in the past, and I think they'll get it right. I think, and I'm hoping that they to get it right. And that's the key. As long as they bring in the numbers, I think we'll be okay.
That's not my problem. The problem is, I know they get it right. That's not my problem. But the problem is, you need to get players to get it right. And I don't think they're going to get enough players for it to be right. That's what I'm saying to you. We will be left short because next season, if we go into next season with just Frimpong, Ekatike, and Kirkes, we will not win the league.
Yeah, we're not going to leave it that short, man.
Yes, but I can see it.
I can't. Not 3.
I can see it. And that's
So
what's annoying
this
me.
is where
I shouldn't feel like that after seeing my team win the title. I shouldn't feel like that. I
That
shouldn't be
was
giving
different.
Adrian and Elliot. I should be giving
Oh,
superstars
it was
like
slightly different.
we've never had a Man City-esque window or a Man United kind of window where we actually splash so much money on players. Might be the wrong player, but actually go out there.
No, it's not about. I don't want to spend
We haven't
stupid.
done that. We buy
But
smart.
I don't want it to be stupid.
enough.
I want. I will always want us to be smart. No, I'm not sat here saying go and spend 100 million on
Yes,
Liao, 120 million. I don't want us to do that. I've never wanted us to buy smart. My issue with Liverpool is they've always left us short. Meaning, there's a position where we felt we've one player short in that position. At least go and sign somebody. That's my issue with the owners. My issue is when they've signed players, we've got a really, really good hit rate. Yes, there's a few that's gone wrong. Darwin, Naby Keita, it happens. Every club gets signings wrong. But generally speaking, our hit rate seems pretty good. Even our midfield rebuild. Come on, guys, they're flipping hit. They've got it to a T.
It's good.
So
It's good when we don't spend the money. There's been 2 players that we spent big on that have done well. Nunes, they didn't sign Nunes. We spent big on Nunes, flopped. Naby Keita, spent big on him, flopped. The only 2 players that we really spent big money on and did well are who? Alisson and Virgil van Dijk 6-7 years ago. And since then, we haven't spent big on a really, really top class player because we don't do that as a club, which is why I believe in the summer we won't do that again.
Szoboszlai wasn't a big player.
Even him, people still have their question marks on him as well.
I don't have no question marks on
There's still a split.
Gravenberch, was it 35 million Gravenberch? There's not one player in Liverpool. There is not a fan in Liverpool who will tell you that they're not happy with Ryan Grant. We are over the moon with that signing. Yes, it took him a year.
Money on players. Look, Szoboszlai, even the fans are split on him. He's not creative enough to be a 10. Can he play deeper? I'm seeing Szoboszlai, even Asim put a thing out, his profile. Asim wanted to play. Asim said he can play right back next season. Why would you want your number 10 to play right back? And it just shows he's not been creative enough.
That's his profile. He's good. He didn't say shift. He doesn't want him to start there.
Why are we having this conversation about 70 million
pounds? Valverde plays right back as well. Valverde plays right forward. Valverde plays left wing. That's because there's some players in world football that are that good. Like when you say, why is Valverde playing there? No. So when you need
Stevie G play right back in the Champions League final.
When you need some players to do a job, they do a job for you, man.
The guys.
This is what I'm trying to say.
That is why he's going to be pushed at right back, and that's why we want number 10 now because our number 10 is not creative enough. I think Szoboszlai is a good player. But do I think he's creative enough to be a 10 for Liverpool? No. Do I think he's a good player for the squad? Yes. Do I think 70 million rescores is overpaid for him? Yes.
What I would say,
no.
I will tell you this one question right now. We don't win the league without Szoboszlai this year. We wouldn't have won the league. That's how important this player has been for us this season. If we didn't have his energy in this, we would not win that title. I tell you that right now.
Sorry, what I would say is, you know about Szoboszlai, and I probably agree with Gene. I know it might be like a really over exaggerated term, but when you look at the importance of that man and the player and the role, you appreciate him more. And I think you say that you need to bring someone in a lot more, creative. I agree with you in terms of, especially when you're facing up with a team that defends a lot. But my point is, I've lost my turn. The reason why you need to bring in a number 10, and if you do, is then you need to make sure. The reason why we have to have Szoboszlai in this team is because we don't have the physicality across the team. 2, the technical level in the last line with Robertson. 3, the natural DM and the discipline in the number 6. 3, and generally speaking, just the running power. So when you don't have all those, then this is the reason why we haven't played well in the a lot of the big away games where Newcastle away, even though we were better in the second half, Everton physical sides, we don't control big physical teams away from home. And whether you have a Baleba type, whether you have a Zuba-Mendy type to have a bit more passing and keep it boring, keep it ticking, we don't have that. When we do, then you can bring in someone like Ryan Cherki. I wouldn't want a Ryan Cherki playing out as a number 10 with Ryan Gravenberch away from home, generally speaking, against a big team. Because I don't think we've got the legs. You can only really let your number 10 express themselves when you've got a lot of control in the game.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I would say. So if you don't have a natural 6 and the technical level in the last line, then you have to have someone like Szoboszlai instigating the press and getting back in as well.
And I think that's why
That's
we're
what I would
targeting
say.
players like left back and players that can play in those positions. We address those problems, which so Szoboszlai's effect on the team is not as drastic as you just said. He has to be technical in the last line. He has to do the dog work, running up and down. I think they're basically trying to take the creative, like, responsibility off him by signing the likes of Kirkes, who probably be better in the last line than an aging Andy Robertson, as an example.
Yeah, maybe.
But look, the point I was trying to make. I know Szoboszlai has been a good player for us, but even if you ask 60% of Liverpool fans probably say yes, 40% say no. There's a split. I speak to fans that have a split opinion on him. I have a split opinion on him. There's 10 games I'm like, this guy is better than Messi. There's 10 games I think this guy can't pass the ball. And I think we all have the same problem with him. The problem with Szoboszlai, the problem is not that we don't spend money. The problem is that when we spend money, I want it to be on the right player, because I don't want a Naby Keita situation. I don't want a Darwin Núñez situation.
90% of the time, Sarib, we get it right, man.
Exactly.
We got two wrong.
Yeah.
You know, the last 10, 15 years.
That's 50%. That's 50% of the players we actually spend big on that we got incorrect. It's not a rate that I want to be consistently going at.
We spend around the 40-50 million pound mark all the time. That's our mark, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. But we need to move away from that mark if we really want to stay there.
Now, obviously, we have to go and spend. This is what I think we will.
We're gonna fall down. Yeah, fair enough. I just
look for me, Sarib. Look, I'll be, and I don't want to think. I trust the owners, and I trust lot in terms of when we buy players.
I hope so.
Having one or two players go wrong, I don't have an issue with that. Meaning, because even though they were big money, Darwin Núñez was big money. Naby Keita, flipping, let's not even go there. Yeah, because he just never fit enough. It was never fit, and there was a lot of money at the time, 55 million quid for a player like him, which we all. And I'm not gonna lie, I was raving when he came. I was so happy that we signed him, but the guy just didn't do it. What can you do? Can you really? I think every single player, Liverpool fan, when we signed Naby Keita, we were over the moon, thinking finally we've got that player that we needed, that actual 8.
Yeah,
it just didn't work out. What can you do?
He had the talent. He just didn't have
he had the talent. He just didn't have the injuries. He couldn't run.
When you cost large money, you have to come in and do a job there, like this.
Of course,
they don't want that. They don't want that. They do not want that. They want players to just ease in. So there's
Sarib
on them.
When Naby Keita came,
level.
Sarib, the club called him one of the best players. Him and Thiago, the best players in Germany.
Thiago, I can understand. He's an exception, but
Naby Keita was unbelievable in Germany, bro.
Yeah, exactly, and that's also one of the reasons why I'm a bit shaky about signing players from that league as well. He's another example.
Well, you're shaky about signing players for any league.
Thiago, if he was 25, 26 when we signed him, he would have cost us 100 million. That is one of the best midfielders technically to play the game. Thiago Alcantara. We're lucky we got him for 30 mil, or we got him for
I think Naby Keita was just unlucky, Sarib.
Sorry?
I think Naby Keita was just unlucky. Like, for example, we're not questioning Thiago in terms of his talent. Didn't perform to his talent, but we're not questioning his talent, are we? We're questioning.
He's the best player I've ever seen. Bar Suarez, probably the best technically gifted player I've seen play for Liverpool. So,
yeah, but he didn't fulfill his potential. He didn't fulfill his potential at Liverpool because of his injuries.
Yeah, exactly. And his age.
Yeah. Technically, Thiago was the greatest player, one of the greatest players I've ever seen. That probably is the greatest technical player I've seen play in terms of Liverpool. The guy was special. They just couldn't get fit.
Big shame.
Yeah, Muhammad's spamming a question again.
Muhammad, you really love spamming the chat, by the way. You really love spamming the chat.
Realistically, which players have Liverpool already done the groundwork on? I think Kirkes is one. Any others?
To be fair to Naby, I thought he was good when he got a run, but it was back to square one every time he got injured, and he couldn't hack the pressing system that Klopp, the gegenpress. He just couldn't do it. His legs couldn't do it. It's a shame.
Okay.
Fabinho, Thiago, Keita is probably the best midfielder I've seen Liverpool have in the last 10 years, and it's madness because that was a really solid midfield. I think back to that FA Cup game at Wembley. I know you two are probably there. Football I saw in that first half. Wow. Can't hear what you're saying, Asim.
Which semi-final are you talking about? The City one?
The Wembley against Man City when he played Fabinho, Thiago, and Keita. He played Diaz.
That's what I'm saying. Naby played in that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Naby was unbelievable in that game. He was probably man of the match.
Him and Thiago were running the show.
Unbelievable. Okay, boys, that's the wrap, I think. That's the wrap. We always say it's going to be what we're going to talk about. It'll only be a quick 30-40 minutes, but never is. I keep on telling you guys, as engaging as this chat is, And if you've got Muhammad spamming questions left, right, and center, then we have to bring them up and engage with them more. Thank you very much, people. There's still 1,300 people watching. There's around 1,100 people on Twitter. Honestly, man, we're giving you regular content, a regular roller, regular insight, and a few exclusive and bombers to go with it. If you can't just go off Twitter now, go on YouTube, type in Born and Red, then I think it's a lack of loyalty, if I'm really honest. If you watch us for an hour, you must like us. So go over YouTube and subscribe it. I think we've been stuck on 11.6, and I keep getting calls, I keep getting messages. Why are BNR are only on 11.6 subscriptions? It's because we've got 1,000 people watching.
Do some videos.
Who are not liking and
you know, a lot of
subscribing.
people, Asim and Treen, they don't click on live, they click on videos, and we've got literally very limited amount of videos. We need to put some more videos out there. We need to start, and we apologize.
I know, man. I know. What we need to do is get a guy who will go after the show, because when I go on my YouTube, I see people put shorts on, clips on. So if you're there, bored out your ass, get in touch with me on Twitter, and we'll bring you on board. We'll look after you if we have to. You clip us, put shorts on and stuff like that, and live the journey with us. And we'll never forget that if you help us out now. Well, anyway, that's enough promotion. Smash a like and comment if you're watching the show later. We'll catch you tomorrow. Whether we get 3 points or not, it doesn't really matter according to Sarib. Take care. Bye-bye.